Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, traders. Hey, how are you? Glad to see you today. Keith is here. I'm here. Come and join us. We have got another episode of our demo day today. It's Friday afternoon here. You have got me. You've got me right here, Ben Leto. If you've ever sent a support ticket to Indicator Warehouse, you got me ever since wow, it's been, I think, since 2009 when Adam started Indicator Warehouse, and I've been here serving you guys and working and creating new indicators and products and giving you guys the best support I can give. I hope you're enjoying it. So if you ever want to reach out to me, you can always reach me at Ben at Indicator Warehouse. Let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so first off, please put your questions together now. Think about them ahead of time. I don't want to put you on the spot right now, but so just think about it ahead of time. You've known Indicator Warehouse for quite a while. If you've been a customer of ours, or if you followed us in the last 13 years, we've been around. Uh, put your questions together. If you're new to Indicator Warehouse and you haven't talked to us before, then maybe this is your first visit with us. We're here to help and answer any questions you've got. So put them together. We're going to have a Q&A here at the end of the hour. And so get prepared for that. That'd be great. And I do just want to let you know, Black Friday is less than a week away. If you want early discount, that's right. Right now, you can purchase anything from our website, anything from our store, and use the code Ben's Friday. And Ben's Friday will get you 50% off any purchase of any of our products. And this is an early bird special for you who are joining us on this message. This might not be around when you're watching this. Depends on when you're watching this replay. Use it when you can. Right now, we've got early access. Go ahead and take advantage of that. Jump on and get 50% off. Now, good news. Raptor 3.1 is available today from your membership site. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, it was just put up about an hour or two ago. And you can download the new version, Raptor 3.1, and it has 2 bug fixes. I mentioned these bug fixes the last time we met. Basically 2 things. We did fix a problem that was with the daily P&L target. So the backtester was able to basically, once you hit a target, to stop trading and for that day. And then the next day it would start up again as signals came along. So that that daily P&L target is fixed. That's right. The other fix was we had a one customer. It wasn't really a fix. It was kind of a request for a change. The backtester operated based on a start time and a stop time for the session. So you could say I wanted to evaluate between 9:30 and noon all the trading that happens during that period of time. Well, that's great for the backtester, that session, but those session times weren't being applied to the Trade Assist feature in Raptor 3.1, and we'll go over that in a minute, what those are. But now they are. So the trading would have occurred any time of the day if you had trading enabled. That could be a little dangerous. So some people might think that it only worked the other way. So now the Trade Assist operates within that time window as well, only within those time windows. So if you have it set between 9:30 and noon, let's say, the Trade Assist will only trade during 9:30, between 9:30 and noon. So that's an important change that we made. And yes, we do have a discount for everyone who is joining us today. We're going to have a huge discount at the end of the webinar. So stick around for that. We have got a nice little treat for you. And it's only going to be available to those who are attending this today live. So glad to have you here. All right. Before I get started, I wanted to bring up the user manual. But before I do that and start looking at charts and going through the user manual, if you have any questions, Keith or anybody else who's joined, it'd be great to have you jump in. This is not just a presentation of Raptor. We also are going to do a demo day today. I've got a couple little treats to show you if we get through Raptor. other indicators that we're working on, other ideas, and feel free to ask questions on maybe what you'd like to see. If you'd like to see a different indicator or product displayed as a demo, I'd be happy to do that with you. Okay. I don't see anything coming in yet, so what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and move into Raptor 3. So Raptor 3.1 is out today, bright and early here, November 22nd. So there's 3 features in Raptor 3. One of them is a UI pull down. Another one is the Trade Assist feature, and a third is the backtester. So yeah, we got some new features. I do want to let you know, of course, never forget, I'm going to show you backtesting results. Now, those backtested results are in no way a guarantee of future performance. And yesterday's performance and market behavior is no guarantee of tomorrow's behavior. So all of the features I'm going to show you today, all the backtested results, those are backtested only. They do not represent actual live trades. Raptor 3.1 has the user interface, a pull down button. So right at the top, you're going to see the word Raptor in kind of a cyan blue, and you're going to see this screen right up here. Let's go ahead and pull that up right now. So I've got Raptor here on the ES chart, and there is the UI pull down. You pull that down, and you do have a featured list here. All the things that you can change that are quickly accessible by hovering over it with your mouse, clicking on it, or using the mouse wheel, which I really like. So you see, if I'm just on this area and it's highlighted blue, I roll the mouse wheel back and forth and it rotates through all the options. Here as well, if I go on the quantity, I can rotate that. I can change the quantities that are being traded. I can do that, go here and here. And if I do make some changes, it will ask me to recalculate the statistics, and the statistics are on the left. Those are the P&L stats right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the hide those stats, and you can quickly turn them off or turn them on again at your leisure. So it's very handy. Let me see if I've got that on. Okay, great. So going back to the user interface, you have the ability to turn the Trade Assist status to either paused, active, or active always. And this PDF, by the way, is in your membership site. You can download this PDF and read it at your leisure. I won't go through all of it. I'm just going to make you aware of some of these features, and then you can follow up on your own, of course. If you're new to Raptor and you don't have it yet, remember we do have a big sale today. You can buy it with Ben's Friday link, and you'll get a 50% off that purchase. Okay, so we also have the direction. You can change. You can limit the number of directions that are being traded. You can only go. You can do both long and short. You can only ask it to trade long. You can ask it to only trade shorts, or you have a fourth option, which is trend. Trend is described here. There's 3 types of trends mentioned here. I won't go through them all, but basically we use the Raptor clouds to determine when a trend condition is present. And there's some descriptions here that you can go through on your own. Now let's move along to the signal 1 quantity and the ATM name. Again, in the UI pull down, you have signal 1 quantity and ATM name. Now you can change for signal number 1, signal number 2, and signal number 3. Raptor has 3 signals, and those are printed to the chart. Here you see a number 2 down here at the bottom. You see a number 1 printed here, a number 2, a number 2. I don't think I have any 3 showing up. Maybe earlier today. No, not too much. It's been kind of a sideways day. So when those signals fire, you get a background stripe. You can see the red or green. And those signals you can actually place trades on. That's right. That's what signal number 1, quantity of 1 does. It'll place a trade using this chart template, or not chart template, sorry, ATM strategy template. ATM strategy template. if you're not familiar with the strategy templates, it's really pretty simple. Right here in the chart trader for Ninja, you have ATM strategy, and you could create custom ones. I have a whole bunch created. Okay, these are all mine. If you want these, I can send them to you. You can just email me requesting my templates and I'll send them to you. So I wanted to show you the P&L stats. I know I've been talking about them, but you probably weren't able to see them. But on the left, we have in the blue areas here, we have kind of general information showing us the P&L, the win rate, loss rate. We have the longs and shorts, breakdown of long and shorts, 38% winning on the longs with a net average of $82 per trade. We lost about $4.50 on the shorts over the last 25 days. And the nice average is $216. Now, again, these are all back-tested results. And I do want to caution you that, of course, back-tested results are not a guarantee of future results. Keep that in mind. We do have the breakdown for trades that are entered by half hour of the day. So 9:30 to 10 is listed here. And what this shows right here of a $5,250 profit is if we only traded from 9:30 till 10, the signals that came along between 9:30 and 10 on all 5 days of the work week, we would be netting $5,200 on our back-tested results here. Very important. You don't need to trade the entire day. You actually don't want to trade the entire day. Raptor on the ES shows really from 9:30 to 10:30, you can do very, very well. Do quite well. So that has got all of the breakdown by the entry time of the day, right? But let's look at another really important piece of the puzzle, and that is trades by day of the week. Day of the week. You know, Mondays are not the same characteristic as Tuesdays. Tuesdays are not the same type of trading day as Wednesdays. Likewise, Thursdays. Likewise, Fridays. Each day, you might know, has different regularly occurring news events and market behaviors that you should take into account when you do your trading. And our little trade backtester here shows you really don't want to be trading on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday because those days have poor performance. But look at Tuesdays, guys. We've got 4 Tuesdays in this last 25-day period, and it was a net of 17,586 in backtesting. Win rate was really high, 76%, and 28 wins and 9 losses. Boy, I wish I had that batting average. And there you go. So these numbers would change if you just didn't trade Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tell you what, though, I'm going to turn off signal number 1. I want to see what the results are if I turn off signal 1 and I only trade signal number 3. So I just flicked the 0 here and the 0 and the 1 on the third signal. Let's recalculate. And there we go. There we go. Now our average per day is 168. It went down a little bit because we got rid of some trades. Our win rate is about the same. We took a little bit of a hit, $900 difference on the P&L. Some fewer trades, 70. I think we had 70 fewer trades. But again, we just trade Tuesdays with the Raptor. You could take the rest of the week off and go golf, although it's probably too expensive nowadays. I haven't golfed in about 15 years. It's a little costly, right? But look at that. So keep that in mind. So our back tester here gives you a really quick look at when you should be trading historically and what day of the week and what time of the day. Let's get really into depth on Tuesdays. All right, I'm going to turn off all days but Tuesday. I'm just going to trade Tuesday. Again, Tuesday for the day of the week is 2. Hit OK. Now, these are only trades that occur on Tuesday. And there we go. So there's that $15,000 P&L that we had. Only 29 trades. The average trade, guys, look at that, an astounding $542 a trade. Tuesdays are trend movers, right? They're movers. 83% win rate. The longs, the average trade is $1,000. Shorts, we only had 2 short trades. Both of them were winners. Look at that. Every hour of the day, except for the last half hour, is a winner. So something to keep in mind there. Something to keep in mind. If you do trade Raptor, use these tools to your advantage. Like I said, backtesting is not a guarantee of future results, but you need a little bit of an edge. You need to know when the market favors your strategy. You shouldn't be trading a trend strategy on ranging days. And this backtester will give you at least a little indication of when it's a little harder to make money with your strategy. Whether it's a range trading system, you don't want to trade that during the breakout days. And if you've got a trend trading system, you don't want to be trading that during the range breaking day, the range bound days, or the times of day that are typically range bound, which is like the lunch period. Now, I haven't gone into Monte Carlo analysis yet. Maybe we should save that for another session. If you guys want, take a look. If you're not familiar with Monte Carlo analysis, I know it's kind of a fancy term, but it's a statistical measure that gives us an idea of the likelihood of your system being profitable. That's all it is. And what it does in a nutshell is it takes all of your trades. So in this case, we've had 29 trades only, so it's not a very big sample. And what it does is it takes a number of, let's call them simulations. So each simulation, it grabs a random sampling of 14 of the 29 trades. So imagine putting all your trades in a bucket, and on the first simulation, it pulls 14 trades out and it sums them up. What's your P&L for those 14 trades? So that's the first simulation, and it does it again for the second simulation, and for the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. And it does 100 of these. It does 100 simulations. Each one has its own P&L. So here's a question. How many of those simulations were profitable? How many weren't? That's the question. And what it's showing you here is that 100% of them were profitable. 100% of those simulations were profitable. That gives you confidence to say, okay, this system is stable. That's all it is. And that's a very handy little way to do that handy little feature. It's available on many different trading platforms and backtesting tools, and something you want to use. And we give it right here, right away, in our rapid backtester. Let's get a little different result. So it's 100% probability from Monte Carlo. Let's go ahead and go back and take a look at all days of the week. And let's see how that affects our Monte Carlo estimation. So now we've got 119 trades, taking 60 trades at a time. Again, we do our 100 simulations. 70% of those are profitable. So even if we traded all the signals every day of the week, all the time of the day, we would still have a really good probability of being positive. The average P&L is listed down here in smaller type at $1,633 on average is our P&L. All right, guys, that's statistics class for you. There's a lot there. We do cover a little bit of that in the user manual too. At the bottom, I do show you if you want to create your own strategy templates. That is a little help guide right there that Ninja provides on how to do that. So feel free to hit that if you have any questions. I do mention Monte Carlo here. Yeah, I do have it in there. So it does cover some of that. All right, we're at halfway through our session today, guys. Let's take a look at one of the systems we have is called Hawk. The Hawk system is our scalping system, is one of the components of Raptor. When we first created Raptor, we actually created the Hawk, the Falcon, and Eagle systems first, those 3 birds. And we decided to put all 3 of those into one And that is what Raptor is. It's a 3-in-1 system. But some people still like trading Hawk because it's really sweet and it's got some really nice signals as well, especially on trend days. And that's what the Hawk is. So it looks a little bit like a Christmas system to me, right? But the NASDAQ here has been trending up. Typically in this system, you're buying at the first cross with the green triangle here. And that would have been just carrying very nicely for us throughout the day here. We would have gone short here. You would have put a stop probably at the fast moving average here, and you would have gotten stopped out, but the gain on the prior trade was definitely handsome. So we've got that, but let's take a look at something I introduced to you guys last week was the LettoChannels. Now, we offered this on Wednesday, this indicator for free to everyone who was in attendance, but we're not doing that this week. Okay, we have a different special for you this week. But LettoChannels, I want to show you a couple signals it produced that are really, really fascinating today. I mentioned the indicator is a channels indicator, a central moving average, which is this yellow line, and these huge bands that are out here, overbought, oversold levels. Think about it that way. They're based on historical differences from the moving average. So these are not based on volatility on the current market. They're actually based showing you volatility on the prior days, the average of the last, in this case, how many days have I got here? I've got 10 days in this average. So this is the 10 days average above this moving average and 10 days below the moving average. Likewise, now since we're using historical data, I can average the location of price, the closing price on average compared to the moving average. And we print that as these dots. So this is this kind of like purplish dot here below the moving average. Green dots show that its price is usually above the moving average during this time period. So we've got this showing typically from 9:30, well, actually all the way up here from 8:45 until 10:45. We're below the moving average usually. That's where it likes to be. Price has, in the last 10 days, been below the moving average. That's what these magenta dots mean. So we project that to today. And we tell you ahead of time that price likes to be below the moving average the last 10 days. Well, today it went up. It didn't follow the prediction. But two things about that. It went up, but it didn't go far beyond our bands, which are volatility bands. And right when it hit those bands, it retraced and did go below the moving average for just a little bit. It went back up, did about, oh my gosh, looks like a 75% retracement there. And it tanked right in the morning if you were here trading the NASDAQ. So what we look for is this prediction was kind of, it was fought against. It was pushed to its limit, but price moved down toward those dots. And look at that, it actually hit those dots on the bottom of the day at about 10:15, 10:20, 10:25, 10:30. Now, another thing about that you could have traded is not just by hitting the upper bands and looking at the magenta dots, but we also have these cycle dots. Do you see those little bright pink dots there? That shows us that we're having an overbought condition in our trend age. That tells us the trend is dying out. The age of this trend is getting a little too old, and you can expect a reversal. Well, the confluence was pretty serious here. We had that trend age showing an overbought condition, and we hit the upper bands. Those two combined with our magenta dots to the downside was a really good trade opportunity. But look at this. A little bit later, 10:45. Price is supposed to be above the moving average between 10:45 and let's say noon, right? The green dots are above the DMA. Well, if you're down here at 10:30, we start getting some green dots showing a cycle move upwards. This one was a little premature, but eventually it did come along. So the pressure from the cycle dots showing an upward move was coming, plus our prediction that price usually comes above the moving average there shows was a pretty smart move. So that is, honest to goodness, the most unique indicator that we've ever produced. It's an amazing tool. Do you guys have any questions about that or what that LettoChannels is about? This is an indicator not currently available in Indicator Warehouse. It is, however, it is offered for sale. If you do want to purchase it, it's $249. Last week we gave away free licenses for everyone in attendance, but we're not doing that this time around. We have something a little bit more special in line for today. Okay, so this is the manual. Let's put that away. You know, one other thing too, I had a guy ask me, he did ask me about TradeForecaster. Does anyone here trade with TradeForecaster? Maybe Keith? I'm going to open up a chart here of TradeForecaster and show you what that looks like. Let's take a look. Okay, I actually have it as a template too. So I'm going to load the TradeForecaster template. You want to run this on a very short-term time-based chart. 1 minute is great, 1 minute chart. You do need at least 21 or 22 days of data. I'm going to go, I'll tell you what, let's go with 45 days of data. Why not? And I'm going to hit OK, and we're going to load that chart with the ES. TradeForecaster. Oh, by the way, there's a new version out today. TradeForecaster version 6.6. I just uploaded a new version today. We did a little touch up on it. I added a couple things, a couple features. So feel free to download that from your membership site. TradeForecaster is right up here in the top left corner. That's all it produces. The things I added, in case you're wondering, is right down here. I added a font, a label font, and that is the font that's inside of our histograms. It's really small right now, so let's go ahead and kick that up to like a 28. And then I also added a Histo X feature. This number moves the histograms down a little bit. Right now it's 50 pixels down from the top. And if we go to like, let's say 100, I'll show you what it looks like. It's a little different. Recalculate. So there we go. So I moved it down a little bit more. And also we have our histograms showing a little bit bigger because the font was increased to 28 pixels. So what does TradeForecaster do? Well, it gives you an idea of what the current market is projected to do. It's a little bit like LettoChannels. It's kind of a simplified version of LettoChannels. It'll tell you right now, swing trades are suggested. Swing trades. The biggest histogram bar right now is the red one with swing on it. And you'll see the text message that says swing is suggested. And then it also tells you the next thing up, the next most probable move is going to be a scalp. And that's in 5 minutes from now. Okay. Scalp histogram is just a little bit smaller than the swing. So that's why the swings are dominant. Scalps are not as dominant. And trend trades or longer term trades are far off in the distance. Those are something you probably shouldn't be considering. So a swing trade is going to be about 10 to 20 minutes long at least. You know, give or take. I'll give you a rough estimate, 10 to 30 minutes in duration. So if you enter a trade, you might want to consider holding it for a little bit longer. Likewise, the distance could be a little bit further on a swing trade as compared to a scalp. And so this gives you an idea, a basic idea of what kind of market temperament comes along at this time of the day on average going forward. All right, we have another visitor, Anthony. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you here. We're just going through a TradeForecaster example. I don't know if you own TradeForecaster, but it's really that simple. It gives you a lot of really good statistical information in a very small package. And it's one of our most popular indicators too, because it's simple and it gives you an idea of the duration of the upcoming market temperament. You know, will the market be moving for a longer period of time, or will it maybe favor scalps, a very short in and out kind of a trade? So it doesn't give you entry signals per se, but what it does is it gives you an idea of how long you should be in your trade. Now, again, this is based on historical data. That's all we have to go on is historical price data. Based on this time of the day, how big is the move? That's really the question we're trying to answer. And on average, the trade of the day to do right now is a swing trade, which is usually about 10 to 30 minutes in length, and keep with the trend, and that's what you want to be doing. Keith, thank you for asking the question. How many days of backtesting in the backtester would you recommend? I used 15 days on the ES. Wednesday was the best day of the week with the stat 9:30 to 11:30. Great question, Keith. Thank you for jumping in on that. So I use, in this example, I've got 25 days. I've got 25 days, and it tells us that there were 20 tradable days in that look back of 25 days, calendar days. So, you know, I think if you're using 15, that's good. It's about 2 weeks of calendar days. Wednesdays turned out good for you. So okay, that's good to hear. So the question then is, what template were you using? Were you using a longer target, shorter target, longer stop, shorter stop? Were you would be what your bar settings are. Obviously, the ES is a question on bar settings. We're using a 4 and 4 mean Renko, you can see up here. Anthony's unmuted. I hear a little bit from you, Anthony. Hope you're doing good today.
I'm good. How about you, bro?
Good, thank you. All right, Keith. So you were using an 8-tick stop and a 60-tick target. Nice. Well, that is an awesome reward to risk, right? You're almost at 8 to 1. That's why you did so well. So that's a really good mix. Glad you brought that up. I don't think I have an 8-tick 60-tick. I have a 30-tick. I do have a 10 and well, I have an 8 and a 32. You know what? Why don't I make a quick one here? You've got 8 and 60. Let's do that. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to do 8 on a stop, 60 on the target, and we're going to do this. We're going to save this template. This is now I will put .8 and a 61 contract. There we go. I created that. I should be able to pull that up now. Let's do an 8 and a 60. I might need to no, there it is. Pull it up right away. So I love the idea. Let's give it a recalculate and see how that looks. All right. So I'm showing a little bit of weakness on Wednesday. Obviously, the big target is great. That really is doing well. Tuesdays are still pretty good. We have a pretty low win rate because 8 ticks is going to get hit a little bit quicker than normal, I would say. You're only trading from 9:30 to 11:30, so that really could explain it. Let's limit our look back to match your times, right? We do a nice little quick comparison here. Where did my times go? There it is, 9:30 to 11:30. And you know what? Let's leave all the days of the week right now. Let's do all of them. And then we're gonna turn off everything but Wednesdays. Yeah, Keith, look at that. Very, very nice. So really, every day except Monday is profitable. Every day except Monday. I really like that. Thank you for bringing that up. We gained 2,900 bucks on 63 trades. So your average trade is 46. So even if you had a $5 commission taken out of there and let's say 2 or 3 ticks, right? 50, 25 bucks taken out per trade, 25, 12 or 25 bucks. I mean, even if that was the drastic case, you'd still be doing pretty well, right? If we just turned on, look at Thursdays though. Did you see, Keith, did you see Thursdays? Oh, okay, 32 tick target. Instead of a 60 tick, you want to do a 32 tick? I think I had that as an option. Tell you what though, 60 tick isn't so bad. Let's take a look at 832. Let's recalculate that, see what that shows up for us. Not too bad. Average is $31 a trade. Win rate is up pretty good, 29%. You're making about 107 bucks a day. Drawdown is $1,000, max drawdown in that period. The only thing is from 10:30 till 11 is a $100 loss on 11 trades. Yeah, that looks good though. Look at your probability in the Monte Carlo. That shoots up to 82% P&L. That's good info, Keith. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to the 8 and 60. I want to see what Monte Carlo was on that. 82% on that as well. So I don't know, man. Look at that. 46 bucks. If we exclude Mondays, let's turn Mondays out. Drop it off from there, get rid of Mondays. So again, the day of the week is 1 is for a Monday. Here, I have a little tooltip. 0 is for Sunday. Monday is a 1, Tuesday's a 2, etc. Let's just exclude Mondays. We're gonna go golfing on Mondays, not gonna trade. Our P&L is at 3,100 bucks. So that's pretty good over the last 25 days. Making 222 a day on average. Pretty good. All right, guys, we're coming up on the end here. I promised you a special treat, a special offer at the end of the webinar here, but I want to answer any questions you guys might have before I do that. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, want to see another indicator done, demonstrated, let me know. I've got another system to show you. I kind of peeked it to you last week, but I'm going to wait on that. The ATR trailing system. Really nice. Really nice. I'll bring that up again in a future episode. We're going to get together again next week. Keith, I got to tell you, it's really encouraging to hear that you had those results. So really cool. Thank you for sharing those. And those are back tested, right, Keith? You hadn't traded it yet? Yeah, take a look at that 60, huh? Keith said in the chat, if you guys can read that, he said he accidentally typed 60, but he said he'll look into that too because it looked good, doesn't it? Yeah, this one is looking pretty sharp. All right, there it is again. You should be able to see it. This is a 60 tick. You can see that right here. I've got that. Let's take a look at what the 8 and 30 8 and 60 on the signal number 1. I'm going to see how that affects P&L. Not too much helpful there, but still at 3,000 P&L net P&L probability of success is 90. Not too bad, but one other thing, guys, too, if you ever used the output window in Ninja, the Raptor system does print a whole bunch of information to the output window. Basically, it gives you a lot of the same stuff that's in the P&L stats, but then it also throws on top of that some new stuff, which is right up here, and that's a trade-by-trade breakdown. We use this for kind of, just kind of debugging and observing, but it tells you what it did. These are all long trades. I had a losing streak of 2 points, 2 points. We came up with a winner of 4 3/4 points, a 15-point winner, 15-point winner, another 15-point winner. So took a lot of little losses, and then we hit with some big 15-point winners. And that's how you gain. That's how you gain your P&L. Also tells you what happened. The end of the day disposition, right? End of day. How did the trade end up? Stop loss was hit, take profit was hit, or the end of day came along. All right, guys. So I have got my offer. Are you guys ready to hear our offer for you in attendance today? So people have really responded very positively to the rapid backtester, but putting this into Raptor is not a trivial project. It takes a lot. We are offering to you a special today that if you have an indicator or system that you'd like to have the backtester added to, yes, we can add this into your code. You might not know this, but I'm the programmer behind a lot of the tools at Indicator Warehouse. We do custom programming for traders all the time. It's not cheap though. To add the rapid backtester into Raptor, or into your system, I should say, we are offering that normal price is $2,400. Takes a good amount of work, takes a lot of testing, a lot of coding. But if you do want to have that into one of your methods, let's say you have a simple moving average cross system, or you want to create a system that has, uses RSI or uses CCI or uses whatever method that's reasonable that we can put into a formula. If you want rapid backtester added so that all of your results are printed to the chart and you get exactly what you see here, Monte Carlo analysis and all that, we are offering that at a 66% discount from the $2,400. So you can purchase that through me. Feel free to email me for that link. I'll be happy to send it to you. Again, this is only for you guys that are in here today watching our presentation. The rapid backtester added to any one of your favorite strategies or tools. So something to take advantage of. Again, email me. You can reach me at ben@IndicatorWarehouse if you want to take advantage of that. And we'd love to set you up and get you going and get you into profit. I don't know if you've been trading a long time or a little, if you're an old pro or a newbie, we're here to help. And in any way we can, that's our goal. We've got a good team here at Indicator Warehouse. We've been around since '09. We've seen a lot of people come and go. I was just on a website the other day visiting one of our competitors that's out of business. So I clicked on their URL and it took me to a broken link. So, we've been around for a long time. And that's because we sell quality and we want to make sure that you have quality tools. All right, guys, God bless you all. I hope you had a good meeting with me. I really appreciated hearing from you all. Anthony and Keith, thank you for joining. Email me again if you have any questions or need any help. We're here to help. All right. God bless you guys. I wish you all the best on this weekend. And come back Monday because we will have another offer for you that's going to make a difference in your trading. All right, guys. Have a great day.